Hello everyone, welcome to this Sims 3 Creator World video. So today we're working on the center point of the town center area. Today in episode 14, this is the Central Park. So yeah, it's basically right in front of City Hall, and it kind of forms the centerpiece of the whole town square or town center area. So this ends up being a festival grounds lot. So I ended up making 4 different versions of it, which you'll see in this video. So if you have the Sims 3 seasons, this lot will change with every season. So there will be a different version for summer, a different version for winter, a different version for fall, a different version for spring. You get the idea. And you'll see all the different versions at the end in the screenshots. The only unfortunate thing is when I captured the fall version, I didn't have the colorful fall trees for some reason. I think I didn't let the game run long enough, but it's okay. You can still see the objects, and that's all at the end of the video. But right now, we're working on a version of this Central Park that I don't end up keeping. So yeah, everything you're seeing me do right now, I end up just deleting and not doing because I just was not happy with how it looked. So I originally started off with like these wide, very perfect like pathways that just went all over the place, and I didn't like how it looked. I thought it looked kind of just bad and too I don't know, it just didn't look good. And also these fences here was a bit too much. So I ended up removing the fences in the end, which you'll see, and I end up changing the way that the pathways work and everything. So there's a lot more open space in the final version. So you'll see that as it progresses, but you know, it's all in the process, you know, it all comes together in the end. So yeah, essentially this lot here will be surrounded by buildings. You can see I've only built one of those lots so far, which is like the grocery store area with those shops. But on the other side, like on the direct other side of the lot from that one, I intend on putting the bookstore with some shops, and then in the back corners, I'm going to probably have like a salon maybe and a laundromat, like the World Adventures, the Ambitions lots. So I think that will probably make a lot more sense, or I don't know if it makes sense, but it's just like, why not? You know, those kind of are nice buildings I think to have here, and they may have like all have apartments on the upper levels as well. So I think that'll be pretty nice. But anyway, here you can see I'm still working away on this first version that I don't keep. You'll see I'm going to change it very soon. I'm going to go in and what I did in between like these two takes is I went to Sunset Valley and had a look at the just normal Central Park that's there, and I kind of thought, oh yeah, mine kind of doesn't look so good anymore. And so I ended up I ended up just demolishing a lot of stuff. But essentially, the fountain is in the direct center of the lot. This is a 51 by 64 lot. It's a bit strange, but it's the same exact size lot as the City Hall. And I placed the fountain right in the center. So the whole fountain and this whole sunken area that I'm creating is in the direct center of the lot. So that's just very satisfying. And the pathway that runs from the fountain to the entrance is also in the center. So it's centered. So, you know, that's pretty satisfying. But yeah, here's where I remove all these pathways I just put in because I did not like how it looked. It just looked way too, it just didn't match the theme I'm going for. It looked way too, like planned and like modern, and it just wasn't right. So I did abandon that idea, and this is now what we're going to work with here. So I have this nice sunken area. The one in the Central Park in Sunset Valley also has like the sunken fountain, which is where I got that idea from because I think it looks kind of nicer than like a raised up fountain, which is what I did before I put the fountain on a foundation. And I didn't like how it looked as much as just sinking it in, because then it kind of makes the whole terrain area more dynamic because you can have like the stairs that go down and all that kind of stuff. And I also connected the pathways to the pathways that run off the lot there on each side, as you can see. So yeah, I thought that kind of made more sense. And I also put in these little details like with the walls and constraint for elevation. I've been doing this on a lot of the community lots in this world, as you can probably tell. So yeah. And speaking of community lots in this world, I believe that we only have like 2 more rabbit holes to do after this. I think there's the diner and the bookstore, which I already mentioned. I plan on putting that right next to this lot, but I think that's it. I'm not 100% sure, but I can't think of any other rabbit holes that I haven't done. And then once the rabbit holes are done, we'll move on to just more of these sorts of lots that are custom built completely. So this little metallic orb I just put in at the front of the lot is actually the seasonal controller. So basically the way it works, and I also did it wrong the first time around, but it's okay. Basically what you do is you put that down, and then if you do it correctly, you have to put, it's in ByDebug essentially. So then if you have testing cheats enabled on, which you have to get into ByDebug anyway, but when you turn on testing cheats enabled true and shift click on the orb, you can choose what season you want to work on. And there's also like the common lot. So like the common season is basically everything on the lot that will be the same between all the seasons, which is the majority of it. So I accidentally built everything here with it set to summer. So you'll notice when I change the seasons later on, everything disappears. And I'm like, oh no, what did I do? And then I just deleted the orb, and then it reset everything that I built to the common setting. And then once everything is on the correct setting, like all the stuff you want to keep the same between seasons is all in the common setting, you save it. And then like you use like a thing you do to set all objects to like common setting or whatever, so it knows not to change anything. And then basically you just shift click on the orb, and then you choose which season you want to work on, and then all the objects turn translucent kind of, so then you know not to like intersect things by accident. But then yeah, you can place the seasonal things, and then at the different seasons the lot will just automatically switch between the different versions of it. So I get to that near the end because I spend most of the video just working on the base version here or the common version, where I have all the stuff that's going to be the same between all the different versions. So essentially we have a playground at the back and a pond over to the left there. And I know there's been a lot of requests, not a lot, but some requests for like ponds and stuff in the world. So there's going to be also a whole lot that's going to be a fishing hole as well, like just a dedicated lot for fishing, as all worlds have. But this also has fish in it. So this pond, I put a freshwater designator in it because all the water in the ocean around the island is saltwater, so you can only get saltwater fish from them. But this is a freshwater pond, and I put 3 different fish spawners in there. So lots of variety, and yeah, so your Sims can come here and they can fish if they want to. And there's also going to be, I think, some gem spawners, or a gem spawner kind of near the back of the lot as well. So yeah, there's some spawners on this in this park, but also just putting in just bushes, trees, all that kind of stuff essentially. Kind of filling it out, decorating it. Also on the right side, opposite the pond, we have like this lawn you might have noticed. So like there's this one area where like the grass is like mowed really perfectly. So like in the summer that's going to be like a soccer field, and then like it'll change depending on the season, which you'll see. And yeah, so right now just doing some dirt terrain paint just everywhere. There's also this nice deck that kind of like goes over the pond, and that's just going to be some seating, which I thought was kind of nice. And in the area around the fountain are some chess tables, so your Sims can go play chess there. There's also a picnic area, so you can see there's some grills with some picnic tables over like kind of on the back of the lot there. There's also some more picnic tables I put in. So there's a good variety of things just around the lot here. I think it's a pretty well-rounded park. I don't put in any public bathrooms, so I mean, I don't think it's necessary because there's definitely going to be other buildings around, like right around this park that will have bathrooms. So, it's not a big deal. I didn't really want to put bathrooms in, but anyway, putting in some benches, of course, getting in the park benches, getting in some chairs, a little table here your Sims can probably eat at, and also putting in some chairs here for all the chess tables that are like surrounding the fountain. And yeah, so I think fairly soon we're going to move on to setting the different versions for different seasons, but here I'm putting in some planters, changing up the stair color there and the fountain color, and putting in some outdoor lighting because that's pretty important. And also near the end I put in a few things that I forgot to do. So like I put in a clock in the center of the pathway, which I thought was nice, and also some trash cans around the lot as well, kind of make it feel a little bit more realistic. But yeah, so just doing some final touches here before I move on to making the seasonal versions. So yeah, just doing a little bit more terrain paint work, a bit of dirt here and there. Obviously you can see I put in some lamps around the park so it's nice and lit up at night. And here I'm putting in just some more terrain paint and plants and details, painting under the foundation black as I usually do. Just the typical things that I do pretty much on my lots. So yeah, just doing some more bushes. And oh yeah, here's the spawners for the pond. So there's some fish spawners in the pond. And I also put in a gem spawner back there in the corner. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And now we're going to move on to the seasonal varieties of the park. So, I think I first discovered that I kind of messed up here. So I have to delete the orb and then reset it, because you'll see everything that kind of disappeared there. I don't know if, yeah, you can see like all the stuff disappeared, and now I'm a little concerned because everything's gone. So oops, and then I just deleted the orb, or there we go. The orb is now deleted, and now I'm going to replace the orb so that I can actually set things up properly. So there we go. So now I set all the objects to being the common type, and you can see they're all kind of like transparent, translucent actually. So I'm doing the summer one right now. So the summer version has these soccer goals here, so Sims can play soccer. I also put in a, I don't know, I put in some booths, I believe. I think I put in like the seasonal booths. So there's like a photo booth, that's the summer themed one. It's also like a little food stand. I also come back later and put a hot dog eating contest stand in the summer version, because I originally put that in the fall version. I was like, that doesn't make sense. So I put it in the summer version. So the fall version has a pie eating contest table, and the summer version has a hot dog eating contest table. So right now we're working on the fall version. I actually come back and make a few changes to it, because I'm like, oh, I put in a pumpkin patch later. I put in some hay bales and stuff around, which you'll see, but there's a horseshoe throwing area. There's also a haunted house your Sims can go into. There's the pie eating one I already put in, but anyway, I also put in a scarecrow, I believe. So yeah, there's just a variety of things your Sims can do there in the fall. And now we're gonna do this winter. So the winter has an ice skating rink and also snow cone machine. And I put in just some like little a photo booth and like a food area, and yeah, that kind of stuff pretty much. And then the last version we're gonna do is gonna be the spring version. So the spring version will have a rollerblading rink, and then like all the Valentine's Day stuff, like kissing booths and whatever. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this episode. We're moving on to the screenshots fairly soon, so I hope you stick around for those. And if you did enjoy this video, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could consider checking out my channel, and maybe consider subscribing if you like what you see. There's also plenty more episodes of this series on my channel. If you have not seen them yet, you can go back and watch me build a bunch of the other community lots in this world, and you can also see me create the world from scratch as well. So anyway, there's the pumpkin patch on the fall version, and also like some apple bobbing tanks and like some pumpkins and some hay bales and stuff, all that kind of good stuff that is very seasonal and fall. So yeah, and just doing a few more details around the park pretty much. I think I was looking for, I don't know what I'm looking for here. Oh, looking for hay bales. So there you go, there's some hay bales. And yeah, I'm also going to put in some trash cans too, which I forgot to do earlier, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this park turned out. It looks really nice, and it's a very good focal point for the world, I think. You know, like a nice, good central point kind of in the town center, and it'll look very cool once it's surrounded by a bunch of different buildings and stuff. It kind of makes the town center feel complete, because this was like a really big empty lot for a while, so it looks pretty good now. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you enjoy the screenshots, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.